Welcome back to Under the Gazebo. I am Senator.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Caleb.
You guys sound so enthused to be here.
I am. I'm just
Well,
tired.
considering it's
Honestly-
9:30 and I had an 8 a.m. class today,
Well, you stayed up till 2 a.m. last night, so, I mean,
it's my fault.
kind of on you.
It
yeah.
definitely is.
Fully.
It's all my fault.
But speaking of, we're still new to this podcast thing, and if I'm being honest, we are terrible at it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is just awful.
Hey.
Like 30 minutes ago, we decided,
Could
hey,
be worse.
let's do a podcast.
If
And
somebody's
10
getting
minutes
something
ago,
out of it, though, I'm happy.
Yeah, like 10 minutes ago, we were like, what are we going to talk about? I don't know.
Pulled up the spreadsheet a whopping 6 minutes ago and be like, okay, what's on the agenda for today?
Yeah.
Pickles.
So no planning goes into this, but you know what? I kind of like it that way. It makes things a little bit more organic. Garrett, you had a topic you wanted to talk about that I'm kind of ignorant about, so
Yes.
go ahead, take it away, Garrett.
It has to do with fake guns.
Yay.
I like real guns better, but I mean, go ahead.
Well, these are simulation firearms, so to speak. We're talking about the topic of airsoft, of course. Now, me and Caleb have gotten into airsoft. We got into it about high school, and Caleb was the one that really dragged me into it. But I came along for the ride. It was it's pretty fun. Because of the current status of the globe, like you can't really play it right now because that would involve people breathing heavy everywhere, and I'm sure they don't want that.
is
But
this because they're all overweight?
I mean, some people actually choose to wear the sappy plates, that like AR-300, AR-500 steel plates. So, and I mean, for a 6mm plastic BB, I don't know why, but hey.
Okay, so for people who may not know, just describe what airsoft is, because
Airsoft.
it's really new, kind of not, but it's not very
It's
popular.
upcoming.
A few years ago, I had learned that airsoft was the fastest growing action sport in the nation. Or at least the nation, may have been the world. I don't remember that. But airsoft is basically plastic pellet guns. Like, the guns aren't plastic. It shoots a 6mm plastic BB. And they are either battery powered, which means semi or full automatic. And then we have spring powered, which is single shot, before you have to manually cycle the firearm again to fire another pellet. And you can play however you want to. Like me and Caleb, we started off playing in friends' backyards, just about wherever we could get away with it. And Senator here has played with us a few times. He's had a ball. Most of it's just, our experiences, we range widely on our experiences, what we've done. We've paid the price and gone to a quote-unquote MILSIM event, which is a military simulation event. Caleb's been to 2, actually. I've only went to 1, because after that I had my fill, and I wasn't looking to go to Iowa during the winter, like Caleb did.
Is
Sleep
Iowa the only
outside.
place they do this?
Well, it was in a school.
Is Iowa like the place to
it
do
was
this?
just that. It was just that one school. You know, it was abandoned. It's been abandoned since like the 70s, but it was still in good condition where they allowed you to go in and play around.
Yeah, the building was still in structurally good shape.
There was holes,
But it's
and
just
whatnot,
been
but,
abandoned.
Yeah. Did you want to tell them how we got into the first event? Just looking at a flyer and saying, "Hey, let's go to this."
Yeah.
Wait,
So,
you actually read a flyer and you went to it
alright.
because
Yes.
of the flyer?
I bought a
It
That's
gun.
starts
so
with Caleb. It starts with Caleb.
so
I'm gonna let
retro.
him talk
All right,
about it.
I bought a game. I mean, a gun, not a game. Whatever. Anyways, I bought a gun.
Wait, an airsoft game?
Oh, dude.
Oh my
Hey.
lord.
There's some indie games out there, but anyways, I don't want to talk about that.
I used to play a paintball game on the original Xbox.
Yeah,
so
I did
That's
too.
what I'm talking about. Those $1 games. I got a flyer in. It was called Operation Medusa, and yeah, it's a weird name. Don't ask. But it said it was in a town near us. It was like a couple hours away. I'm like, sent a picture to Garrett. I'm like, this looks dope. We should talk to everybody about it and see if we can go.
Yeah. At the
This looks
time,
dope.
for a bit of context, we were with a group that meets up usually on the weekends and has games. What do you say our size was, Kel? About 25 or so.
It was a good, yeah. It was
It was
a
a pretty good
size
size number.
It was a good size.
Little clan.
We've since drifted
Clan.
away from them,
Want to join my clan?
or I've since drifted away from them. Caleb, I don't know if you still.
I want to
affiliate with
I
them?
want to go back out there. It's just,
I never
you know,
knew 'em.
A lot
Like-
of problems, you know. A lot of stuff gets
Yeah,
in the way.
I want to go back out there, but I just
They're
don't
good
really
people, yeah.
associate myself with the group anymore because we have to pay dues, and I'm just like, I don't really want to pay. But anyway, turns out this is funny. He sends me the picture, and he was like, "Dude, this is like a couple hours away from us. Like, we need to do we need to go to this? Like, is this something we want to do?" And I'm like,
Let's expand our
I mean, that's-
portfolio.
"Yeah, I mean, it sounds." I was like, "It sounds really dope." But let me look
that
into
cross
it.
tag wasn't though.
And turns out
Yeah, how much was it?
It was like $100 and something a ticket. Well, actually,
I got the
I
early
lied.
bird special. I got like $80
yeah.
ticket.
I had to spend $100.
Oh, wow.
He spent $80 because he got the early bird thing. I didn't get paid in time. I had to wait, you know, so and
Yeah.
so to get that.
But our story continues with after he shows me this picture. I thought, well, yeah, I'll look at that. I bought an $80 AK-74U, which is a very short-barreled AK with a side-folding stock. It's battery-powered, so it was capable of full auto fire or semi-automatic. But I also got one of these flyers in the box that it came in, and I was like, hey, look, I got one of them too. Actually, I have it hanging right here. I still have it pinned up to my cork board because I just thought that's pretty
Memories,
dope.
man.
It's like my first Milsim event. Long story short, we talked to our group, was like, hey, this event's a couple hours away, and we're kind of interested in going to it. What do you guys think? And they said, let's do it. So they wrangled up, let me see, there was about 5 more. There's 5 more people that
All
went
right,
with us.
let's say it was me and you in the truck by ourselves.
Yeah.
All right, and there was Alan, Layden, Aaron, and Tyler.
Wolf.
And Wolf, yeah.
Wolf went with us. So it was 6 more. Okay, so there's 8 of us all together.
No, it was just.
And the fun
These are just 6.
was there 6 of us all together, or was there 6 extra?
I think it's 6 altogether.
Let's just say
you're
there's
right.
5 or 6.
Yeah,
5 or
it was a
6.
squad-sized element. But anyway, what I thought was funny about this was when you sign up and buy a ticket, you have to affiliate yourself with a team, and you have to put yourself in a squad and designate your role. Now, you could be like a designated marksman, which means you have a longer range rifle. You could be just plain old infantryman. You could, I don't remember what all they had, but like, so we all made sure we were all in the same squad, and I'll never forget our squad number because they screamed it over the radio 24/7. We were on the separatist team, which was the green team. We picked green because everybody had the green color. If you're on the green team, you have to wear green camo patterns, and if you're like on the tan team, you had to wear tan based patterns.
That makes
So
sense.
there's no confusion on sides.
Well,
So
there was also that point where, that time in the middle where we found out that the other branch of the airsoft team we were running with was on the opposite team.
yeah,
So
we actually our group. That's a good point, Kel, because I didn't think about this. Our other group, there's 2 like what do you call it? Like divisions of our group. There's one of them very close to us, and one of them a
Chapters.
few hours away.
chapter.
Well, they caught wind. They caught wind that they were going, or we were going. They're like, "Hey, we're sending a few guys down there too. They want to go." Well, they signed up with the other team, so we weren't with
I think
them.
there was no communication on that part.
No, there wasn't. But I mean, I bumped into them. I wrecked most of them, but one. So I got to shoot all of them, but one.
It was a friendly little competition.
Yeah, it was a friendly competition. No heat there. We all went and ate and out.
So, like,
out and
when-
ate afterwards.
When you like do these Milsim events, like how close to realism do you guys try to get?
Okay, here's the thing. You can get as close as you want to. Me personally, I think this game right here, if it was conducted correctly, and we can get into that in just a little bit, if it was conducted correctly, this is just my cup of tea. Because I mean, like with regular backyard games, like you can play, like you could just shoot each other and then feel it, and then you just keep going. You know, you play how you want to. It's like playing a Nerf war when you're like 6 or 7. You know, you
I didn't do
just
that
shoot, you
either.
just keep shooting and keep shooting and keep shooting.
I just
and
stayed
nothing.
inside and read my marine biology books like the little nerd I was.
But whereas you could go through Milsim West, which is an organization, and you have to literally camp on the fields. You don't have the option of getting a hotel. You don't have the option of leaving the field. You are there for 48
That doesn't
hours,
sound
and
like
you have
fun.
you have to camp on the field. It is a full realism experience. They have
That sounds like an
they have
awful
tanks.
time.
They have tanks, arty trucks, or no, technicals, sorry, not arty trucks. But they will have people shooting fireworks to simulate artillery fire.
No, they were shooting real guns. They were shooting bullets
Yeah,
up on the hill.
Yeah, at our event, it was a nice blend, okay? And we used something called medic rules.
Mhm.
So when you signed in, we're going to skip the road trip part. Nothing happened on the road trip part. I cracked my phone screen in the Arby's parking lot, but that's not important.
I remember that now.
The fucking Rick and Morty case didn't do shit. But anyway, we get down there, and when you sign in, they give you your little, they gave us a little lanyard, and they gave us the card with our information on it, and they're like, you're a rifleman? Yes, okay, punch that out. And you go through, they chronograph your gun to see how hard it shoots. And they do this because they try to keep injuries down from just accidental, like, not penetration, but like if your gun shoots too hard and you're putting it point blank at somebody's head and pulling the trigger, something's going to bleed, and they don't want that.
Good.
I'm sure every company doesn't want that.
I want as close as possible to the real deal.
Well, then you go get shotguns and beanbag rounds and
I
knock
feel
yourself
some
out.
pain, yo.
But anyway, our game, we had medic rules set. So that was the other role I'm thinking of. We had medics set up, and Alan, which was the guy who went with us, he was our designated medic. So, say the first time you got hit, you had to call your hit. So you put your hand up, say hit, wave it, whatever, let them know you got hit. You had to sit. You could lay down on the ground if you wanted to, but you could sit. You pull what's called a dead rag out, just a red bandana, something red that lets them know that, okay, you're dead, so you don't get shot again, and be like, hey, dickhead, cut it out, I'm already dead. And the first time you do what's called buddy aid. So that means when we signed in, everybody got a Velcro tourniquet. So you come over, and this guy puts a tourniquet on your arm or on your leg, wherever, or probably not around the neck, I sure hope not, but but like they put it around your arm, and then it once it's on there, you're good to go again. You put your dead rag back up, you get to go again. Mm-hmm. And you don't take it off until you technically, quote unquote, die. So second time you get hit, you have to call for a designated medic. And they had this whole procedure they had to do. They had to wrap like an ace bandage around your arm. Or no, they had to what are those tools called, Caleb? The clamps.
Yeah, it's just like surgical clamps.
Hemostats.
Oh, there you go.
Hemostat. A medic carried a syringe, a hemostat, and an ace bandage. So what they had to do was they had to come and hemostat either the clothes, like somewhere on your clothes, and wrap an ace bandage around it, and then hit you with a syringe, which was like no needle. It was just like a mini turkey baster or something. It's just
like a little
it's to simulate like a morphine shot, I guess. Yeah. And then unwrap the bandage and take the hemostat off, and then you're good to go again. Third time you're hit, you are dead. So you have to go to either back to your forward operating base, which is your main spawn, or a captured MASH point, which means
basically
like a field hospital. Yeah, basically it was just a flag. And it was like kind of like Conquest and Battlefield, like the different flag gets raised for who captures what. And if you captured it, you could go there, and you could use this time to reload your magazines and make sure everything's okay. Put your tourniquets back up, your whatever, and then you go again whenever you're ready. But it was a nice blend. It was a very nice blend.
So it gets pretty hardcore then. Like that doesn't sound like fun to me. Like the whole idea of just staying out, like sleeping on the field. Like I just want to shoot some fellas.
Now, see, here's where ours is like in the middle ground, as I like to call it. The games lasted for like how long did they lasted most of the
Yeah,
day?
all day. There was always a lunch break to get everybody cooled off. Because
Yeah, there was a lunch
this is
break,
around fall where it's hot, really hot during the day, but at night it's
and
super
it gets cold
cold.
during the night.
It is super cold.
But yeah, like if you go for like the Milsim West tickets, you do not get any breaks. You have to eat while you can. You have to
Yeah.
sleep while you can. Milsim West, they can come kick down your tent and kill you in the middle of the night, and it's fair game.
That's dope though.
Literally, you can go on a night raid rather than sleep.
Did we even
It's
go
all
over
up to you.
The terrain at this event? I don't think we did.
Uh-huh. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this field is not an abandoned, but an old rock quarry.
Yeah, I don't think it's used anymore.
So there's like on this field there is no dirt, there is hardly any grass. It is all gravel and large
so
rocks.
you're screwed if
Those
you
are-
didn't bring your knee pads.
True.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I had knee
Now get
pads.
to the
Thank
story.
the Lord I bought knee pads. And let me tell you something, they went in solid black. I bought solid black knee pads and they came out gray from how many rocks scratched my knee pads. It was absolutely insane. But it was almost 100 acres of ground to play on altogether. So
Was
I
it
thought,
big
okay, this
field?
is a pretty good sized field to play on. But
How many people were in this event?
was it 100, Caleb?
No, it was over 100.
120?
I wanna reach out there. I'm just gonna say 150.
Let me see if it doesn't say in here on my flyer that I've got on my
Oh no, but the terrain wasn't just all rock core either. There was like a lake. There was
there was a small like
there was,
man-made lake that had
Did you
filled
have
with
a Navy?
rainwater.
no.
Good Lord, you couldn't even put a PT boat in
no
this.
Navy
You could put
battles?
an air mattress on there and put an air soft.
Yeah, you could put a fucking raft on it and that would be your Navy.
There was no man's land, which is just
Oh yeah.
piles of,
Okay.
like packed down gravel. That's basically
It
what
was it was the strange. I could not describe it to you. It was the strangest thing. What No Man's Land was? We got briefed before any of the gameplay started. They said this section of the map will be roped off with yellow like caution tape, and they said do not enter in this area because if you get in there, you probably will not get back out. We've had people break legs in there trying to get out, and it was just like these giant like rocks, like you literally just couldn't drive anything through it.
Wow.
Like it was just massive, just rocks.
I think you could get in there, but they advised you not to.
Yeah, I mean, like you could get in there, but like they did say someone broke their leg in there at an event one year, and I guess they don't want people to go back in even if they did
Yeah,
let
they
them
don't want
in.
to be liable for anything.
But No Man's Land plays a part in a story we have later if we have time to tell it or if we forget about it. But
Oh no, we gotta tell that story.
I'm going to cover some of the Operation Medusa stories because this is like we had some stuff happen here, and both good, bad, and ugly, or all three together. Like it was just insane. Caleb, do you have anything that comes to mind?
Do you
Any
want to
story?
start with the injuries, or do you want to?
that's the second thing on my list. So if you want to knock yourself out, go for it.
All right, which one?
Just do the one at Medusa.
Both of them happened at Medusa.
No,
Me
the
falling
one with
down
your goggles happened at Ohio.
Okay,
or
but remember
Iowa.
the smoke grenade and me falling.
Oh no, I remember the second one. Just talk about the smoke grenade.
Okay,
Talk
okay.
about the smoke grenade.
Okay. We were pushing an objective. There was a town. What was it called?
I don't know what the town was called, but basically there were 5 objectives. We had captured 4 of them, and we were driving the tan team back to their. We were putting their backs against the wall.
Yeah, there was a
So,
little ridge with a flag.
It looked like Soviet Russia and Stalingrad. We just kept pushing them back across the Volga, and they never crossed. But go ahead.
There was this. Was it a ramp? Yeah, I think it was a ramp.
It was a hill.
A hill,
It was a hill
okay.
where the crow cannons were.
Yeah, there was a hill with a flag on top of it. I don't know if the flag had anything to do with our little.
I don't think it
capturing thing
did.
or not, but there was a lot of people on the other side. There was a like a divot, like going down the hill, where it's like a steep drop off,
Like somebody could lay in it.
Yeah, there's a bunch of tan people there, right? And I got these fancy little smoke grenades, all expensive and
The
junk.
Enola Gay smoke
Everybody
grenades.
knows about them. And
We smoke, you choke.
I've just seen them all day. They were amazing.
They're
And with
so
my
dope.
luck, I got the one faulty one. I went to I went to pull the pin. They're like $8 a piece, but these were for the tiny
How much do these
ones.
things cost?
But they last like 2 minutes, and they're cold burning, so you can
Gosh.
hold them if
You
you
could buy a
want.
Big Mac.
Mine wasn't cold burning. Anyways,
You could buy
Yeah.
a Big Mac.
these are the little small ones. They're about like what, 5 inches high.
I've got 2 in my closet right now. They're about that size.
all right. We'll get back on that.
Hey,
Ethan.
5 inches is
Shit,
not
we'll
small,
save that
okay?
for another day. I went to pull it. Right, I pulled it exactly
They're-
how it was. Like when you pull it, there's smoke.
They're pull ring smokes. So you pull the ring, and then you hear the little sizzling inside, like it's starting to burn the chemicals or the chemicals inside to make the smoke. And it's like a normal grenade. You pull the pin and you throw it.
Yeah, like a
except
4th
it
of
doesn't have a
July one.
spoon.
Yeah, it's just like that. Yeah.
Yeah, except you don't
Well,
die.
on mine.
Except
it
you don't
decided to be a little douchebag and blow up on me. All right. I have these pretty. They're pretty good gloves. I mean, they're just working gloves.
His priceless
And,
gloves got ruined.
I've had these gloves for like 8 years. They've been through
Or
crap.
at least one did.
And yeah, it was just one. When I pulled the pin, all right, my hands were cleared. Nothing. It decided to burst out the side for some reason, right where my pinky finger was at, and like it was just there for like not even a second before I felt it, but it burned so hot, like it burnt me so like.
It was just hot air coming out of this
Yeah,
hole.
it was supposed to be really cold burning, but this is just like set out a blast. It was like a firework, but like hotter, and it.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like
No,
like
it
a
was
hole
just
in a
so-
hairspray can?
It was just all of a
It
sudden.
that's
Just
the picture
like
I'm seeing.
it's a the way the smoke grenades are made, they're tubes, and when you pull that ring, smoke is supposed to come out both ends of the cylinder, not around it. It's not supposed to explode. Smoke is just supposed to roll out of both ends. Like you can go pick up the tube after it's done
Gotcha.
burning, and it won't be hot
Gotcha.
because they've got some kind of technology to where it makes the smoke burn and create the smoke, but the casing will not get hot, so you can sit there and hold it. Well, for whatever reasons, Caleb's just decided to explode.
Yeah, right.
So, like, have you ever seen a faulty firework that kind of just busts out the side? If anyone else in the audience has seen something like that, this is exactly what happened to Caleb.
Yeah, my glove didn't even stop it. Like it just melted straight through.
Oh,
my,
no.
my finger
It just-
immediately blistered up. I don't know, but
I
it was,
do not know,
it was
but they got
things
hot
get?
enough.
in-
Enola Gay, spelled
What's the name of 'em?
Gaye.
Enola Gay
my
smoke
instant
grenades.
reaction was just to keep throwing the grenade. I didn't even take my hand
Yeah.
off. I just threw it like, oh god. And someone was like, "Are you okay?" or something like that. And they saw.
Was it Alan?
Yeah, it was Alan. It was Alan.
Because you were pushing up with Alan.
Yeah, he's like, "You okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm alright, I'm alright." He's like, "Oh, dude, you want to call Real World? Like Real World Medic is like a major emergency. Say if someone sprains their ankles, they can't walk, or like
Yeah,
gets
if
a rock in the face or in the eye, or, I mean something like that.
if
It's, like,
someone
locked
gets
there.
seriously injured and needs immediate medical attention, for that event, you called Real World. That means everybody had to stop what they're doing and just put the guns down, and then they were going to get medical people out there to assist whoever was helping. And what was funny about this was I didn't know this till a few days ago. Me and Caleb and this Allen individual, we were pushing up kind of in a line, and I didn't realize I was beside him. So there was a road, and there was this mound to the right side, and there was a toll booth. I was sitting behind the toll booth as we were trying to push up, and I look at Caleb for a second. He's laying down. Allen's to his right. I thought, okay, we're getting the squad up here now. So, I don't even know if I finished my statement earlier. I'll never forget our squad's name because they kept yelling at us over the radio. We were Squad 2-6. Yeah, we were Squad 2-6.
Yeah, you never mentioned
or,
it.
well, Platoon 2, Squad 6.
It was something
and
weird like that.
And I say this because
What's that supposed to
literally, if they could not get something done, they would holler at the radio, "Where's 2-6? Get him over here now!" Because we were the most coordinated squad on our team. They said, "Send in 2-6." We were like the Navy SEALs of our team, and it was absolutely amazing. But anyway, back to it. I thought, okay, we've got the whole squad coming up here now. It's lights out for these tannies. But
Tannies.
Anyway, I look back at Caleb like a split second later, and he's getting a legitimate bandage put over his hand. And I was like, oh, great. He's went and fucking hurt himself.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, what happened? He said, the smoke grenade blew up my hand. I said, do you want me to call Real World? He said, no. He's sitting there yelling, no, no, no. And I was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah. He's like, shut up. Shut up. I was like, okay.
There was like a little crowd building up. I'm like, this is
yeah,
not what
there
I
was a
wanted.
little crowd because he was getting a legitimate bandage put on.
Like, this is not what I wanted. It is a little burn. We can keep going. It was adrenaline anyways.
I mean, I looked at it afterwards, and it wasn't a severe burn.
No, it just
but like
immediately
it burned a clean hole in his glove, and just blistered the skin. Like
it was leather on the bottom.
Was the glove like
on
leather
top. It was
or
like
what?
it was like a work glove.
It was like the leather palms. Leather palms.
Yeah, there you go. That's all it was.
Got you.
But it got in that got in that area where your webby part is,
It
so it probably hit leather.
It was like right in the seam where.
Oh, it was right on the
where
seam
it's
then.
breathable.
I
never thought about that actually. But
either way,
that's
it was
one funny
ridiculous
story.
Because as you gain like more crowds, the risk of the game stopping because someone has a little burn on their finger gets it gets way high. That risk is like way up there. And that's all I'm telling everybody. Like, leave me alone. I'll be okay.
Yeah,
leave me alone.
like
Caleb
Caleb's over
over here
screaming,
ruining
"Leave me
everyone's
alone!"
day.
I hate when people yell "blind man." I'm like, dude, can you just walk off the field and change your goggles? Don't do it on
blind man for our local field means that somebody's glasses have either fallen off or fogged up and they want to clean them. So if you call blind man, you're supposed to stop whatever you're doing and unload your gun. It's just a safety thing. And then they yell game on and everybody loads their guns again and starts going from where they were.
Yeah,
but
it's embarrassing to have to do that.
Oh, I remember I had to do it so much in the other field. Oh my gosh. I had goggles.
You're about to dunk on some kids and someone's got yellow blind man.
I had goggles, and they would fog up every 30 seconds. It was terrible. It was a terrible time for all parties involved. But I guess so.
It was just
Now
preparation
that I
for
think
COVID.
about it. But this story really segues up into our personally my favorite story very well. We were pushing into this town because this was literally the last objective, and we can't capture their base. So if we have this objective, we can just sit in the town and be like, "Law, get wrecked, idiots," and just shoot them when they walk out of spawn.
Camp.
Yeah, we can spawn camp for the rest of the day. So me and Caleb link up and push in. I don't know what happened to Alan. He went his own way, I guess. And our quote-unquote commanding officer was there. And, like, we just got word over the radio, push for that last objective. And now that we're here, we're like, what do you want us to do? And we're trying to take cover and hide because the tannies are getting really mad. All right, they're getting really mad that we're here. They're spraying, BB's hitting everything.
At first, they couldn't find out where we were at because they were just shooting all over the place. But the rest of our team had fallen back because they got word to.
Well, I haven't got that far yet.
Oh, okay.
I mean, our CO was sitting there, and I asked him. We basically asked him, what do you want us to do? Like, they're coming in pretty hard. Do you want us to fall back to the last objective and regroup or what? And he says, I don't care what you got to do. I said, I want y'all to take this flag.
So we did.
And I said, you got it. So me and Caleb, along with some other individuals went and switched the flag for us. So we didn't have to worry about that. And we were just like, what are we going to do now? And what we mean by town is just literally just a bunch of plywood walls stood up and drilled together to form a building shape. No roofs, no doors, no nothing. Just doorways and just walls. Doorways and walls. Yeah, it's basically...
Sounds like Detroit.
It's basically Detroit. But there was a building that was shaped kind of like... I say kind of like a Z, but you take the diagonal part and straighten it out. So... I told Caleb, I said, I've got an idea. I said, you get on one end of this building. I said, I'll get on the other end. And I said, that way we'll have a 180-degree view on both sides of this building. So we're not crammed in one small room. And also, we link to each other because that hallway connects the house. So if we have to get back to each other, we can and not have to leave the building. I told him, I said, you sit on this end and I'll go sit on that end. He said, fine, that's good. We held this town by ourselves. Everyone else on our team pulled out. We don't know when they pulled out. We didn't watch them pull out. We stayed in this town holding it down by our lonesomes for, I would say, 25 to 30 minutes. It was just absolutely hilarious to watch these people, just waves of people, they just get gunned down every time. I mean, Caleb said he's seen it himself. He saw people leaning under vans and shit, trying to shoot us from under the vans. And
there was only two doorways. There was 2 doorways and a window.
Yeah.
You didn't, and the rule was you can't throw grenades over the thing. Because
you can't throw a grenade over the building because there's supposed to be a roof there.
And if they were to throw a grenade inside, all we had to do was run to the other side. So I think they knew it was going to be a waste of grenades.
Yeah, you just run around the wall. You just run around the wall and you're protected from the grenade.
So they just started.
Oh God, I wouldn't even want to try. The grenades we're referencing in recent years. Enola Gay, the same smoke grenade company that ruined Caleb's hand, have made what they call EG67s, which is basically a paper mache shell that is glued together in 2 pieces. When you pull this pin on it and throw it, it's got a little fuse in the middle. And when it blows up, the 2 halves separate and it sends clay BBs flying everywhere. So it simulates a fragmentation grenade, but it ain't going to kill you. So you'll feel the shrapnel hit and stuff like that.
I mean, I'd hope not.
But I thought, hot damn, this is the coolest thing since sliced bread. I get to use a grenade now that actually go boom. And I mean, they've had grenades before, but all they do is make the sound, and then you have to sit there and think, oh, was I in the blast radius or not?
You'll feel
because there was no shrapnel.
You'll feel the concussion on that grenade.
Oh yeah, but these things were I think they were 120 decibel blast sound, which is the sound of a 12 gauge going off. So they were really loud. But anyway, back on topic. Me and Caleb were holding this town off. I lean out the door. I lean out the door every so often. I lean out the window, just kind of looking around. On my end, it stayed kind of calm. On Caleb's end, it must have been a little more hectic. But
I was staring at that big white truck where everybody's laying underneath.
Yeah, everybody was ganging up on this truck. But I had a guy, and I could tell by the look in his eyes through his goggles that he was livid, and he was ready for us to be gone. But he was running full speed at me, mounted to his shoulder a $400 electric Chris Vector, released that very same year. So I knew that man pre-ordered it for $400.
Wasn't that the guy?
And what do I have in my hands? I have an $80 AK.
Wasn't that the CEO of the Tannies?
I have no clue. I could not tell you.
Hair, right?
No, this dude had a hat on, I think.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But anyway,
stupid ginger.
He's already mounted up, so gun, stock in shoulder, aiming down sights, half sprinting at me, and just pop, 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 and he's shooting at my door. So I lean back in, and it's hitting the door. He keeps shooting the door. He's trying to suppress me, and I said, you're not going to get it this easy. So when I was standing up at the time, he was aiming for where my head was going to be. So I just laid down and then flapped out over the doorway and shot him twice in the gut. And he was still looking up. I was down on the ground now, and he was still looking eye level. So he just stops in his tracks. I mean, full skid stops and just looks at me, and he goes, "That is bullshit."
Well, here I'll give a slide POV of the other guy. When you're holding up a gun, aiming at a certain place in airsoft, that gun blocks the lower ground.
Yeah,
so
it's gonna block it.
I'm
gonna say it blocks at least.
So it's like rocking a FAMAS.
Maybe, but the thing is, it's gonna block. I would say probably about 30 or 35% of your view from mid-level down. And I've learned this tactic before. If somebody shoots at you while you're standing, you go to crouched. You don't peek the same angle twice. You either stand back up and do it again, or you crouch, and then if you want to peek it again, you stand back up and you just alternate. Who?
I think I made a YouTube video over that.
Really?
No kid. I think I made a YouTube video on
Well,
that.
that's what saved my life in that airsoft game.
People over here peeking the same angle.
Yeah,
The same
that's what
level.
saved my life in airsoft, because that guy, he was still staring head level at me. And what did I do? I laid down on the ground and peeked out the door, shot him twice in the gut. He had no clue I was there. But it cracked me up because he said, "That is bullshit." He's sitting there screaming, stomping off. And Caleb's like, "What the hell just happened on your end?" Because he can't see me directly. And I was laughing. And I said, "I killed a dude with a $400 gun." And he's like, "Holy shit."
Yeah, I'm just over there getting plummeted. My walls are like getting fired up 24/7.
Somebody shot
reloading.
a grenade launcher at our building. They wanted us gone that
Oh,
bad.
they hit the wall, yeah.
And they hit the wall. And they said, and I remember hearing somebody yell, "Does anybody have another round?"
It was basically, if you imagine, like, if you're playing Search and Destroy on COD and you're like the only one left and you're trying to defend that bomb against the whole team, that's kind of what that feels like. But
Yeah.
your life is actually on the line. Your adrenaline just goes through the roof. You don't know what you're doing. You don't, like, I probably lost like 40 pounds that day.
It was a lot of physical stuff going on, that's for sure.
I would have just sat in there with a shotty and just waited for them to come in.
Well, see, here's the thing. We've got that minimum engagement distance rule, so you'd probably have to say bang, bang.
Here's the thing for me. I was in a marksman category. I had a marksman rifle.
Well, that's retarded.
I had a rifle shooting 400 FPS, and I can't shoot people within, what was it, 100 feet? Yeah, it was 100 feet.
Yeah, because this is the deal I was talking about earlier. This is why they chronograph your guns, is because they put you in certain categories. So if you put, like, mine was shooting over a little over like 300 feet per second. So I was just put in rifleman category, and I couldn't shoot anybody probably like 50 foot away, or I don't remember what it was, but
That's a long
yeah,
distance
50 foot
still.
for an airsoft gun. That's a long distance. That is very long for an
That's a
airsoft BB
long
to travel
distance.
and stay accurate. That is, but
Think like 10 foot tall is a
Yeah,
basketball goal. 5
but
basketball goals. That's
it's
a long
just
distance.
done because legal mumbo jumbo. If somebody comes out there bleeding, I'm going to sue your ass, and they have to pay money out. That's the only reason they do it. And there's a lot of controversy as to whether they should keep those rules in place or do something else, because people tend to ignore that rule. People
I said
tend to
if you
ignore
sign
that
a
rule.
waiver, if
Do
you
what?
sign a waiver, it shouldn't matter. If you sign a waiver saying, "Hey, it's
Yeah.
my fault if I get
Yeah.
hurt out here," then no
Right.
problem. You signed the waiver.
But
I agree.
Don't be
I
a
don't
little
know.
pussy.
If you're going to that sport, you better expect to get hurt. That's all
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
better expect to get hurt in some way, because boy, we did. But
Like, I want as close to the real deal as possible.
the closest
without
we
breaking any
got
bones.
was every so often some guy with blank guns would come out. So he would have like an AR. He had a shotgun at one time, and he would side up with somebody, and he would go engage with them, but he was shooting blanks, and he wouldn't shoot them extremely close to someone because it's a blank cartridge for a real rifle.
just in case.
But like, it was just to get
Yeah.
the sounds going, and it was nice. It was a nice little effect.
Yeah.
But there was it was down near that pond. There was a flag down there we had to go take, and there were like 2 or 3 buildings. One guy was holding that little town to himself. We were all just livid. Well, I didn't know when I finally got over there. I didn't know the blank fire guy was there. So there's a road that sits kind of 90 degrees to this town. I was on that road, so that all I'd have to do is walk forward and pop a few shots off, then lean back because he can't see me. Well, one time I leaned over, and I'm staring down the barrel of a 12 gauge about 200 yards away, and I hear boom, 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 and like 12 gauge blinks, and I'm feeling the concussion of each round hit me. You know, my ass went flat to the ground when that happened. I said, "Holy shit! This man shot at me with a 12 gauge." But
That's awesome.
man, like, it was cool to think about afterwards. But at the time I was like, holy shit, when did that guy get there? But I don't know if you had any run-ins with the blank fire guy, Caleb. But
I don't know. He was all over the place, man. Most of the time when I saw
he
him,
was everywhere.
He was just up on the hill shooting up in the air.
Yeah.
And one of them had a 9mm.
Yeah, somebody had a pistol. I don't remember who had the pistol though. But it was very fun. Caleb, do you have any more stories? Because I don't want to keep telling stories here. I feel like I'm taking up your spot.
I mean, we experienced it together, so you're basically, telling the same story I was going to tell.
Yeah, you need to. We need to talk about your Iowa experience though.
What
I do have one more story from Medusa.
Go ahead.
If we can get that out of the way.
Caleb, we need to talk about this story. But first, let me go
sorry.
into
I'm
another story.
sorry. This is. Yeah. Like going back to the buddy aid system, if somebody gets shot for the first time, I can go help somebody. They'll say, "Where's your tourniquet?" And they'll say, "Here," and I'll get it out of their pouch and I'll put it on them, whatever. Well, I saw a guy just got hit, and if you grab them by like the shoulder or something, you can quote unquote drag them out of the way, so you can grab them and just kind of pull them back into cover where you can start giving them aid. So I started putting this guy's bandage on, ask him where the fire is coming from, so I can start marking where to look and where not to look. And I'm almost got this thing on, about to slap the Velcro, make sure it's on. And what lands right in front of both of us other than a smoking EG-67 grenade, literally 1 foot away from our faces. And he wasn't looking that way, but when I saw it hit, I looked at it. And I grabbed his arm, and I said, "It's time to go." And he said, "Why?" I said, "You just got to go." I picked him up and slung him away from me, and I took off running. And I don't know how in the world a single BB did not touch me from that grenade. It was absolutely amazing. But no, I'm not going to throw a grenade back. That's dumb.
Yes.
It's dumb. That's what Tyler did. Tyler kicked one back and got him with it.
You got to punt it.
Yeah, I've seen people dive on them before, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that was funny. We had one instance of a guy in our squad. A guy threw a grenade around the corner of a building, and he kicked it back in the door. And he said all he heard was the people say, "What the?" And then boom.
A bunch of people walk out. Yeah, I was coming over the hill.
Yeah, then a bunch of people walk out. They're like, "What the hell?"
We were searching for that RC looking plane, the foam plane thing, the surveillance.
Yeah, and I found it, and he was like, "Go take it back. It's not time for that objective yet." And I told him, "I'm not taking it back because I walked halfway. I walked 50 acres to bring this to you. I'm not walking another 50 to take it back." He said, "Fine, set it there."
So stupid. And before we move off of this story, we lost by 1 point. And
No Man's Land?
Huh?
No Man's Land?
What?
Did we lose No Man's Land?
No, you said that's topic for another video.
No, I said later on this episode.
No, man. Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah. Never mind. Sorry.
Me and Caleb kind of broke off on our own for a while, and it was really fun when we were on our own. So there's a path that runs by No Man's Land to just kind of get back to the middle of the map, and we're just kind of walking around and just kind of looking like, man, this place looks pretty cool. Like we like this place. And we look out there in No Man's Land, and we see 2 guys on the opposite team, and they're trying to cross No Man's Land. After specifically being told, do not go into No Man's Land. There is tape. They had to go through the tape. I guess they thought they were going to get some kind of 400 IQ flank out of breaking the rules of the game.
Someone wasn't going to see them or something.
Yeah, the staff there were absolutely terrible about making sure everyone was abiding by the rules, and that really took away from my experience. But overall, it was really fun. But anyway, I was like, let's ice those guys out there. So I took one, and Caleb got the other. Now these guys are out and stuck in No Man's Land, and it's the funniest thing. And I told a fact that I didn't mention earlier. I'll cover this briefly. About 5 or so players on each team got quote unquote intelligence. So like if you killed somebody, you walk over to them and say, "Do you have any intelligence on you?" And that they have this little manila folder, they have to give it to you. It's a searching deal. And if your team has more of those than the other team does at the end of the game, then you get more bonus points towards your victory. But for some reason, I just got caught up on the subject. We went over to where they got out. I said, either one of y'all got intelligence? Dude pulls out a manila folder. I said, hell yeah, give that shit to me. This idiot decided to walk out in no man's land, just got vital intelligence about his team.
They also had the poker chips too.
Yeah, and the
Man,
poker
he
chips. I never got one.
No. They would always take but never give.
I know.
We're gonna tell them about the time I fell flat on my face after
What a
getting
faggot.
I mean, you can tell that if you want to.
Okay. Well,
I'll let you tell
me
it.
and Garrett were.
I'm sure it's more
I think,
vivid.
Yeah, this is right after No Man's Land. I think.
Yeah,
We led in the
it was.
intelligence back to the base, and Garrett got shot in the back. It was a friendly fire, you know. I mean, well, no.
I think you got. I swear you were on my right. I remember this because I was livid because this guy was being a general douche altogether. Some old faggot being an absolute
General
retard.
douche.
But anyway, Caleb was on my right. Now we were trying to get down this like 85-degree slope.
Oh, yeah. All
to
the
get
rocks
back on
were
the main
real
road.
jagged and sharp.
Yeah, it's all real jagged and slippery rocks, like loose rocks, like not firm at all. And somebody shoots Caleb because he calls hit. And I was like, where was that from? And then I get hit. And I raise my hand. And I look over there, and it's two green guys on our team. And they say, what the hell are you doing up here? I said, what the hell are you doing shooting us? We're wearing the same color, goddammit.
Well,
And then they just walk off. And I'm like, hey, you're not even going to come over here and give me a bandage, fuckhead?
see, for some reason, I remember you getting shot first. And this is why I fell, because I ran over there after we got friendly fired to come bandage you. But they ended up friendly firing me as well. And that's why I fell flat on my face, because I was trying to,
Yeah,
the
but
bullets.
Anyway, Caleb almost fell to his death
I broke my gun. It was a
because
brand new gun.
of some
It was a brand
because
new
of
gun.
yeah, but broke his brand new gun. Do you want to tell him how you broke the gun?
Oh, it was just stock. Well, I landed. That gun probably saved me from getting a sharp rock to the
It
chest.
did. I know it did.
The stock, basically, my body landed on the body part of it, and it dented the scope I had on it. I had a really high dollar scope on
Oh,
it too.
God.
It dented the corner of it.
I didn't know it did
But
that.
yeah, it ain't that bad, but because it's good, it's like good metal, but it dented.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I landed on the gun, and the stock just sheared off. There's no tightening it up anymore. That was the first day I used that gun too.
Yeah.
At
I was
first
like,
off.
oh my God. I was like, because I heard something rattling, and I look over, and the stock is just wiggling on his gun. I thought, oh my God, he just bought that.
That was the same gun I got to get that flyer to go to Medusa.
Yeah.
It's just it was
It
bad.
warned you about the future.
Bad juju, that's all that was.
Oh me. So you want to tell the audience about your Iowa experience?
Okay. Iowa. I went to a trip. It's called Operation Red Rising. It was basically Wolverines versus Russians, right?
Red Dawn scenario.
Yeah, exactly. We're caught up in a school, just like the first beginning of the movie, whatever. There was a bunch of really, really, really gear-headed players there. I mean, they're like more geared than
these
I've
are the
ever
like these
seen.
are the guys we're talking about when where the armor the 500 AR steel sappy plates. They wear the real steel plates. They buy the $400 vest
Like
just to go
actual,
sling plastic.
Actual veterans.
Why? Why would they wear steel
I don't
plates?
know. I
Why?
don't
That makes
know.
no sense.
I
BBs
don't
don't
know.
even
I
hurt.
Don't know.
They get the realism. But most of them are veterans. There's a lot of veterans out there
Yeah,
that like to get out
a
there
lot
and
of them do it for that reason too. That's just how that was their kit, and that's how they ran it.
They miss combat but can't get back into it, so they
Yeah.
this is the best they got. Most of them
Fucking
carry like
DUIs.
crates full of like big boxes full of those grenades, like the EG-67.
Yeah, the
grenades.
EG-67s.
It was like 50 per box, and there was like 4 boxes used on the first day. It was cold. It was snowing. I mean, it was like here in Missouri, we don't get that kind of snow. I mean, the river you crossed going into Iowa, it looked like there was icebergs, literal icebergs coming down the river.
God,
And it
dog.
was just that cold. It never stopped snowing. The porta potties were frozen. You had to go outside to use the bathroom.
It sounded like a fun game.
It was,
but
but
then
the
I was
sleeping-
I had fully planned on going. because Caleb said, I'm going. And I was like, well, if you're going, I'm probably going to go too. But then I got to thinking about the weather, and they said that we were sleeping inside the school. And I said, nope, I'm not going.
Yeah, that's
I ain't going.
That's a thing.
In Iowa in the winter in a
is
school
bad.
with all the windows busted
You
out.
don't think
No.
Been
11
abandoned since 1970.
Yeah.
They were camping in
You
there.
don't think 11 hours makes a difference in weather, but you'd be dead wrong if you thought that. But like, we thought it was a bright idea to sleep on like bat poop and stuff like that, and with one little bitty heater next to us. Oh,
That's
God.
so
I mean,
smart.
and there was noises inside the school. I mean, we were locked inside.
He swears it's haunted.
The dude, it had to have been. I heard the lockers. There was people asleep. I was dead awake because I can't sleep when I'm real cold.
Probably because there was like 1,000
No,
people on an
Not
airsoft.
No,
many
this wasn't
people.
1,000.
No.
This was a smaller scale deal because you weren't allowed to go outside the school.
There was
All combat was inside the school.
no one there at night.
just like
Just like the
regular
simulations.
There was no one in the school at night
Right.
except for the people sleeping in the gym. There was only like
Yeah,
maybe
there was
10
only
of
one
us.
camping spot too, wasn't it?
no, most people
Like, you
went
only-
to the hotel.
Okay.
Yeah, there was.
But like, I mean, like people that stayed on site,
Yeah, there was like
the people that
campers.
stayed on site slept in the gym.
Yeah, no, there was only there was
Right.
just us and two other guys, and
Wow.
yeah, and like I saw everyone was still in their bed, and I heard noises. I mean, but they lock it up at night in order,
Mhm.
to keep people out of there. And I just be hearing noises and all that. But I mean, that's besides the point. We can leave the ghost stories for another day. But to get to the action part, there's snow coming. Like, all right, I did have pictures of it. I don't know if I have pictures anymore, but it's spooky. All the doors are open. And it's something you see in a horror movie.
It was a very spooky setting, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I was sad that I didn't get to go and experience it.
It was like probably it was set up like, gosh, it was like you were in a foreign place. It doesn't feel like it's set up like an American school.
Yeah, because
Was
it
it
was
like
one of those. It
Chernobyl?
was one of those schools that was 3 stories tall.
Yeah, it was
We
one of
don't
those-
see those that often
No,
around where we live.
And there was boiler rooms, dark.
Oh,
boiler
yeah.
rooms. Like it looked like a dungeon down there, and the stairs weren't that all safe. I mean, they were safe. There was a giant theater room. Like had the old
Mhm.
theater style seats with second story and whatnot, and the giant
Wow.
stage. I mean, but there was a hole directly in the middle of the thing with snow coming down.
Ooh,
it
I bet that'd make a dope picture
It
though.
did. I took a picture of it. I think
Oh, I haven't seen
yeah, I
it.
think
You
I
got to
s-
send that to
I
me.
think I still have it.
Send it to me.
Okay,
I'll try to put it in the
I'll
video.
look for that when I'm done. But God, what was I talking about? Okay, the school is like laid out like something you'd see in like Russia or something. It's just like it's probably the best.
Like the way you're describing it, it
Yeah,
sounds like
it's pretty
Chernobyl.
bad.
It basically gave off a Chernobyl vibe.
It did.
Abandoned, overgrown.
Glass was broken. Snow was coming in from the building.
Yeah, like all the windows were broken.
Three-headed
In order to get to
rats.
objectives, you had to go up and down stairs. I mean, there was certain
Nuts.
HQs you came from. Each like major classroom was a HQ. Like one team started at the top right corner, one team started at the bottom left corner. It was on different sides, and each room was open. Every single room was open except for one because it was like kind of caved in. It was unsafe.
Mm.
Everything else was open, so you never knew when there was a person in that room.
But Caleb, you almost had another injury down here, didn't you?
We're at. Oh,
Red Rising.
oh yeah.
That was a
the
that was a
goggles,
big
the goggles,
ordeal
yes,
compared to
yeah,
these
yeah.
two things. That was a
Alright.
big ordeal.
Here, well, in the airsoft community, we have a big thing about the PSI and air-powered guns. Because Garrett didn't ever mention air-powered guns. He mentioned
Yeah,
the
I
electric
did.
and the spring. Air-powered
yeah.
is where you get to the 700 FPS on a normal day kind of gun. If you turn it up. that
Yeah.
high.
Well,
That's
here's
what
the
I
thing.
want.
We have gas guns, which take CO2, what we call green gas, which
Yeah,
is like,
propane.
I guess, kind of a funky butane.
Yeah.
I don't really know what it's made of. Or I use propane instead because it's cheaper and more readily available around here. Like if I wanted to buy,
And he's a big King
Yeah.
Hill fan.
Propane.
like, I get to kill
Propane
someone with
accessories.
propane and my propane accessory. But if I wanted to buy a can of green gas, I have to buy them by the case, and then I have to pay hazardous shipping fees,
Yeah,
which are
no
like
one-
$20 extra
No one really likes
for
those.
shipping. Yeah, and I'm like,
That's stupid.
I'm not doing that. So, but no, what Caleb's talking about is a commonly referred to in our community as Polar Star guns because one company is very famous for making these, and the company's called Polar
It's
Star.
compressed air.
So you basically wear a small scuba tank on your back, like in a backpack configuration, and there's a hose that hooks up to your gun somewhere, and that is your power for your gun. Now the problem with these is that the power is adjustable, so you can crank it down or you can crank it up.
Anytime you want to. Remember
Anytime. On the dime, you can change the
that.
FPS.
No locks.
And
I mean, you can put locks on there, but who's going to stop you from unlocking it and changing it?
taking the lock off, yeah. But Caleb will tell you why this is a problem with his
All right.
story. And ooh.
When you increase the air power inside the guns, the BBs can go from your normal 350 FPS, which was allowed for full auto and whatnot, to
I would
a whopping.
I would imagine
600
it'd probably be like
FPS.
3
Yeah, it was around there.
for full auto.
But these guys, they were the gearheads I was talking about. They were on the Russian team. They were the tryhards. Like, it's always the opposite team that has the tryhards. When
They
it
were
comes
the
to,
guys who came there to just ruin everyone's day, basically.
Yeah,
And a few times when you play airsoft, you get those guys who they'll either start something or they'll do something that's against the rules just to kind of be of a dick.
yeah, like
Because they think it's cool for some reason.
I got into a verbal argument with the guy because he thought I was blind firing when I was like peeking around real fast and shooting him in the
Yeah,
stairwell.
and a lot of times at games, blind firing is illegal.
Yeah, but
Quick peek
yeah,
expert
like-
Caleb over
like,
there.
I knew what to do. I knew where he was at. There was a glass in between me and him. I could see where he's at. He can see where I'm at. But yeah, I am blind firing. You know what I mean? There's no way. I'm like peeking around the corner. Then he's like, "Let's stop blind firing, you faggot," or I'm not supposed to say that word on.
Is this what led up to your?
You can say faggot.
Is this
You can
what
say
led
faggot. I
up
love
to
that
your
word.
hit to the goggles?
Yeah, it comes later on. Yeah, I think it may be the same
Oh,
guys
wow.
too. But like we
Damn.
were completely shredding them. I mean, they're getting mad. They're throwing grenades. Yada yada. Like we had them all pinned up in the stairwell. They couldn't come down. And as soon as we started, getting them one by one, they started calling us names, saying, "Oh, we'll get the I don't know what they call them. I'll just say refs. We'll get the refs over here and get you kicked out." Yeah, I'm like, do it then. I'm not doing anything wrong. And like,
Yeah.
I had people behind with GoPros on, so I mean, I was in the right.
They were just being bad. They were just bad at the game.
Yeah, they were just being, your typical alpha male.
Imagine raging in
Yeah.
airsoft.
And here's the thing.
Imagine.
Here's the thing. You could have just given up the staircase and went another way. But no,
Exactly.
let's keep pushing the
There's
same
like 10
staircase
other
where we
ways
keep
down.
getting shot.
But yeah, they want to be mad. That's their fault. They went.
Yeah,
there.
I don't
And-
understand it. But
Well,
anyway.
this transitions to a later time where we're holding them down the staircase this time. They're trying to come up. They're trying to find a bomb. They're trying to set the bomb in the theater to blow up the school. I was peeking from a window straight across from the stairwell. There was a little flap. I made sure with the refs, I could stick my head out of it. It was clear. It wasn't a peephole. It was people could see me. These guys somehow got away with turning up their gun. And as soon as I peeked up to shoot one of them down the stairs, no, wait, I was already peeked up. All right, I was looking over to the left because someone got hurt, like they tripped and fell. I was just making sure they were okay.
Yeah.
The dude comes up the stairs, beams me right in the goggles like a good 30 times. Shatters my goggles. I mean, I could not have my eyes right now if my goggles weren't there to protect it. But the fact that like these are like not industrial grade, but they were
They were
thick enough-
Z87 rated.
Yeah, listen. I tested these goggles out.
Really made for
Yeah.
airsoft?
Yes.
I tested these goggles out multiple times, point blanked them with 400 FPS guns, and none of them shattered it. Didn't even make a mark. Might have been a little dent, but it flexed out later on. It wasn't a big deal
Yeah.
at all. I've been shot in the face plenty of times by Polar Stars. But this time, it shattered. Like, the whole thing across just shattered. I've
like
never...
a spider web crack.
Yeah, it wasn't like it hit
whoa.
once and shattered across. It's like it hit me multiple times. Like each one of them was going the same speed. It wasn't just that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone up the stairs were jumping all over that guy. Like they I don't know if they threw him. I think they did throw him out of the game because they found out it was turned up.
Good.
Yeah.
And,
Some faggot.
I had to bum somebody's goggles off for the rest of the time I was up there, which made me feel like a piece of crap. But like, I think I still
It wasn't your
I
fault.
think I still have those goggles as a reminder. But
You sent me a pic.
You stole this dude's
I
goggles.
remember when Caleb got done with it. When he came home, I texted him. I said, "Well, how was it?" And he was like, "I almost lost my eyes." I was like, "What do you mean?" He sent me a picture of the goggles. I was like, "Holy shit!"
yeah, we were slipping all over the place. I'll tell you a story about one of my other friends, Leighton.
Oh, God.
He's a good guy. He's
something, all right.
He's one of those guys you want to have around.
Yeah,
And but something bad happened to him up there. It was I don't know if it's my story to tell or not, but it was kind of funny. I'm pretty sure he laughs about it to this day. We were sitting there camping a stairwell, preventing him from getting up, and you know how I mentioned the grenades earlier. Mm-hmm. These guys were grenade happy. They kept throwing grenades at the wall, trying to bounce them up. But one guy got smart, and he Air Jordaned it over. He trying to. He did a layup.
Parked it.
Yeah, he did a layup.
Yeah, he did a layup. Yeah.
And everybody just sitting over there looking over the thing, and all of a sudden you see this big black ball come up right in front of your face. Everybody darted. It's like if you turn the light on to cockroaches in the middle of the night, they just scatter.
Yeah, they just scatter.
And we were faster than the cockroaches, okay? But Leighton, the poor guy, man, he fell right on top of his gun after tripping over somebody. Brand new Crytek PDW, I think it was called.
Oh, yeah, it was this Crytek PDW.
Yes, and it was a brand new gun, man. I felt like crap.
Oh, that's so sad.
I was using a Crytek as well. I was using a Crytek. And they're pretty decent guns. And
Crytek is a high-end brand of airsoft gun.
right,
so the fact that this guy broke his by failing on it is a tragic loss.
It wasn't just a break at the stock like mine was. This thing
break at the receiver,
broke
the main body of the gun.
Half. He fell right on the corner. I feel bad about talking about it, but I'm pretty sure he laughs about it till this day.
That dude's got so many guns, it don't matter.
Oh, yeah, he's good.
He just buy another one anyway.
I think he got it sent off and got it fixed and eventually sold it.
Yeah, I remember that. I asked him about it. He was like, "Yeah, I had it fixed." But he's like, "I think I'm going to sell it."
Yeah. You probably thought it was bad luck. I mean,
yeah.
Go ahead.
I want to jump back to your story real quick just for some clarification, the goggles story. What he means by turning it back up is going back to that adjustment where you can adjust how much air comes in. So when he comes in, he turns it down to about 300 or 350 feet per second, the legal limit, and they chrono him, and he gets ready to go. He cranks it right back up.
Yeah, because the higher it is, the more
just because he
accurate
wants
to.
It'll go farther if you crank it up. But when you're in an environment where your max engagement range is probably going to be 100 yards or maybe even 150, you don't need to be shooting 600 feet a second because that's going to pierce skin. I'm pretty sure.
I don't understand. It's you're in a school, so clearly it's close quarters.
Very.
Why they would allow 600 feet per second guns at all?
Well, they don't allow it.
Yeah.
They don't allow guns to go over. I'm sure they wouldn't allow even 400 feet per second.
Well, then why even allow those guns to come in the first place?
All right, if you spend
it's supposed to be an honor system style thing.
Still.
Yeah. Well, if you pay...
But still, I understand.
It saves money. It's cost efficient with those guns because if you look at it, you're spending money on batteries, spending money on gas, spending money on CO2 or propane. When
Whereas
you have compressed air. That's all you have.
Yeah, you spend money on this tank and get it filled every so often.
Yeah, I mean, that's...
Well, surely, if you have enough money to get one of those guns, you have a battery-powered AK for $80 like you have here. But bringing that to a close
people
quarters...
want to show that off as well.
If somebody has a Polar Star, they will take it everywhere they go.
They're like, hey, look
it's
at this,
a flex thing.
It's like
hey, look at my Polar Star.
I blame the people who ran the thing because that's stupid to allow something with that capability into a match, knowing good and well that someone's probably going to abuse that.
I wonder if they've even considered that because, airsoft is a very honor-based sport. You're supposed to call your own hits and not somebody else. It's not like paintball where you get a big orange splatter and it's hard to hide the fact that you've been shot. It's a little tiny BB that bounces off of you, and you're supposed to just call it yourself. So it's a very honor-based game.
It's like a little sting.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes people
it feels like somebody thumps you. I've had worse.
It only hurts if you get hit in the hands or the neck.
Yes, the very sensitive parts of your body, it will hurt. But other than that, no, it does not hurt. For those of you in the audience wondering.
I mean, if you're wanting to get an airsoft, I say do it.
Yes, it's very fun, and like
I'm choosing to get in VR instead.
with some fields, you can dodge those guys who are the try-hard wannabes, and they're like, "Hey, don't do this; it breaks my immersion." And you can do just literally whatever you want, because when you can do just about whatever you want while following the field rules, it's just some kind of game.
Yeah, it's about having fun. You shouldn't go out there fearing that you're going to break a rule and someone's going to get all over you. I mean,
yeah.
People need to shrug it off more often.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna shrug off getting my goggles shattered though. That's some bull
no,
crap.
I wouldn't.
That's the name of the podcast. Caleb almost lost an eye.
I'd say I almost lost both eyes and a nose, dude. Considering the fact that you shot multiple times.
Oh man, don't even get me started on freaking White Castle messing up my order on my way up there. God,
I don't know this.
Do with airsoft?
Dude, no,
I don't know this.
My trip. It ruined my whole.
Oh my Christ! Like coming home.
So the fact that your goggles didn't get your goggles
that.
busted didn't ruin your
This
trip.
set the tone for my whole trip because we stopped at White Castle.
Was this before or after the event?
Before. We were on our way
Oh
there.
God.
We just passed St. Louis, the cool little Lamborghini automotive place, look, Lamborghinis, that's pretty cool. We stopped at White Castle to get food and stuff, take a little break before we, continued on. I don't like their burgers. I hate them with a passion. Like, I hate onions. I hate the smell of them.
They're little sliders, little onion sliders.
Yeah.
They're disgusting. All right, I ordered chicken sandwiches. And I waited like 15 minutes to get my little bitty chicken sandwiches. Could have, went to McDonald's, got a little chicken nugget with a biscuit. That would have been okay.
Nugget, biscuit, nugget, and a biscuit.
Yeah.
Nugget, biscuit,
But these people waited 15 minutes to mess up my order. And they gave me sliders and onion rings when I ordered chicken sliders and french fries.
Oh,
That's the exact opposite of what you wanted.
I got halfway. We're going down the road. We're stopping and getting Subway for... what's that girl's name?
Oh, was it what's his name's girlfriend?
Yeah.
I know who you're talking about,
Yeah,
but I don't remember her name. No.
Anyways,
Jonah.
huh?
It's Jonah's girlfriend, wasn't it?
No, not Jonah. Jonah's that.
Doesn't matter. Some girl.
Okay.
Oh no, I know who you're talking about now. But go ahead.
Yeah, I opened my bag up. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me! So I just gave it to someone else in the bag. I don't want this anymore.
Oh my God!
I've never let it go either. I mean,
why did you eat there anyway? Like, why wouldn't you just
it was
go
just
to another
a
one?
popular thing, and I knew I could get something different.
Every time I look at a White Castle, I can just taste onions and
that's all it is.
like
onions.
microwaved bread.
Like, what am I?
I've never
50
had
years old?
White Castle, but every time I see a White Castle, I think of Impractical Jokers.
I don't know why.
Because they do a bunch of bits where they go to a White Castle and do it there.
Oh,
like
really?
work the drive through at White Castle.
I have not noticed that.
Oh, it was like that was like in the early years of Impractical Jokers.
Yeah, I don't really watch those. But that just set the whole tone because then we had to go through snow. We had to sleep. I had a sleeping bag. That's it. And I used my jacket as a pillow. That's all I had. That's all any of us had.
Sleeping in a cold school where you're getting pelted at 700 feet per second.
We put hand warmers on our sleeping bags trying to warm ourselves up.
I bet that
sounds like an awful experience.
Yeah. But then we got a whole...
I'd rather just do a team deathmatch at a local field.
Oh, and guess what they don't sell up there? Sweet tea.
No, wait.
Weed.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet
they don't sell
tea.
that up there.
They do not know what that is. I kept asking.
Nebraska was the same way.
Like, they're like, oh, no, we don't sell that here. And I don't think they sell...
They sell pop.
Man, that made me so
people
mad.
sell pop.
He said, we have unsweet tea. I'm like, you don't have sweet tea? I'm like, no, we don't sell that here.
To y'all union
Sweet
goers
tea.
up there, just get on the sweet tea bandwagon, please.
No,
Like,
that
what the hell?
Northerners in such a better mood. I mean, that's
what the
probably...
hell?
He's always
Like, what
so
the hell,
angry
guys?
because they got no sweet tea.
Or, like, they get their White Castle order mixed up.
It's so easy. Take your decaf tea and put a cup of sugar in it. It's just
Dang,
2
boy.
ingredients.
One
Takes
cup of
3
sugar.
seconds to make.
An entire cup of
God
sugar.
dang, boy.
I'm talking about a pitcher.
No wonder you're
okay.
having seizures.
I'm
Garrett.
talking about a pitcher, not your cup. I mean,
Okay,
take your
okay.
entire
I
pitcher of
understand now.
unleaded tea and just put a cup of sugar in it.
I got you. That makes sense.
Not your cup. No, like do like 2 of the Sweet and Low packets. But
Artificial.
no, we're not talking about cups. We're not talking about cups and cups here.
How did we even get to this?
You wanted to talk about White Castle.
So, like, y'all would be mad too.
And I asked, what does this have to do with airsoft?
Y'all-
Now we're here.
Y'all would be mad too. I don't even want to hear it. You wait all that time to get something to eat. Turned out you
To
can't
get
even
something's
eat it.
wrong.
You paid for some bull crap.
How much did you pay for it?
It was only like $12. I mean,
Gosh, still, you could have got a Big Mac.
I don't eat Big Macs.
Well, you should.
No.
They're amazing.
No, I just.
How do you not like a
I
Big
think
Mac?
I think we ought to have a fast food discussion one time on the podcast.
I have
That'd
some.
be
I love fast food.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we will talk about that sooner or
Put
later.
that on the list.
No, we can.
All
Hey
right.
Jamie, put that on the
Hey
list.
Jamie, write that down.
No, we could have a we all bring our computers over here, play Scared, and have a taste test.
Oh my god.
Fast food taste test.
Oh my
We're
gosh.
doing a
We need to get some
podcast.
cameras for this thing.
Oh
Oh
god.
lord. I'm gonna be wearing a helmet.
All
I'm gonna
right,
pull a Swagger Souls because I don't want my face on the internet.
Oh, we're-
I don't care so much about my eyes.
No, we
but-
could wear the airsoft helmets.
Yeah, I can give you the airsoft helmet. I'll go get my clone helmet from
Oh,
home.
I got an airsoft helmet. I got that green one.
With a face mask?
Yep.
Oh shit.
I got that metal face mask.
Oh yeah, you did. You got the mesh one.
Yep.
But yeah, lined up on our agenda here, we've highlighted some of your responses to the previous episode about what you would like to see in the next episode, something that we may want to talk about. Do you guys want to go ahead and start that?
Yeah, we can do a few of those.
Okay,
one
we've only
directed
got
toward-
3 right now, and they're
let's
pretty
just
quick.
do the one concerning me, like in the middle.
Okay.
I'd rather talk about that one at like a later date since this is the end of the podcast. So
You want to talk about the middle one on a later date?
Yeah, we'll do the middle one
Okay.
at a later date. Let's just
Okay.
do. So start off with my boy Jeppy.
Okay.
Sir Jeppy.
All right.
Check out
Jeppy.
his YouTube. He's a great guy. He asks, "Do you think violent video games contribute to violent children?" What do you guys think?
Discuss.
No.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I give
Why?
it a big hard no.
I mean, it makes sense. You would think that playing games like Grand Theft Auto, where you're constantly killing whores in the street and gunning people down,
Stealing
you think
cars.
that would have an effect on a growing child's developing brain.
But also, the cops also, appear in that game as well, so they know the outcome.
Yeah.
So it's they're honestly
kind of a
their-
learning
Yeah, but then you can
experience.
also just gun down the cops.
But
Yeah.
they're being taught to gun down the cops and
I
the
mean,
hookers.
See, that's the parents' issue then if they want to allow their
Yeah.
children to think that.
And that's what I was just about to touch on. It's like you can play that game, but you just have to know somewhere, like, in the real world, this isn't right.
It's common
Like,
sense.
I don't need to do this in the real world.
Like, you do it in the video game so you don't do it in the real world.
Yeah,
Like,
and I mean, like, I've seen it before with just like bad parenting and kids that are like 3 or 4. They'll watch what was it? I've got a second cousin. He's turned 4.
Happy
Some
Tree
horror
Friday.
show, horror movie.
And he, what was he watching? It was some kind. I think it was like Spider-Man. So like, oh no, this is the wrong cousin. Okay, so he's about 2 or 3 years old, and he watches The Incredibles. So they're going around beating people up and stuff like that.
yeah.
So this little kid might just run up to you and just punch you in the gut randomly because hey, that's what Mr. Incredible did.
yeah,
But his parents don't tell him we don't do that.
yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
I mean, I think it'll happen if you don't have good parenting, but I think
Yeah.
it's more or less just correlation, not causation. Before video games became super ultra violent in the late 90s, the same discussion in the 80s was being had with music. Did Black Sabbath make your teenagers more violent? And there have been studies on both these topics, but what they found is it's not that the music makes them more violent, it's that people who are more violent like this music better. And same thing with video games. People who are violent will like violent video games. People who like violent music or who are violent will like more violent music. But it's not necessarily saying that if you listen to this music or play this video game that you're going to become a violent person. Obviously. Hey, Carl, get out of here. We're doing a podcast.
Wow, Carl.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Man.
Are you serious?
Yes.
For real.
Well, you might as well say hi while you're here. So.
Yeah, just say hi while you're here.
Hello.
You want to introduce
Okay,
yourself?
I'm gonna go
You want to
now.
introduce yourself? You want to introduce
That's
yourself?
Huh?
Introduce yourself.
What do I say?
Who you are?
Carl.
Yeah.
Senator.
I'm 18 and I never
Good
fucking
dude.
learned how to read.
Okay.
I don't really know what else to say.
This is my
so-
girlfriend, Carl.
I just thought about
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
That's me.
Okay, you can leave
But yeah.
now.
Okay, wow.
I love you.
Okay, love you, bye.
These
I want to
guys
keep
thought
that in.
something.
I want to keep that
Yeah, I'm keeping that in.
That's so funny.
Recording.
Is that even going to be in here? Because
I'm recording on I'm
Is
going
that
on. I
even
have
gonna
a
be
screen
in here
recording,
because
so
we're
we'll get,
doing
it's in there.
Audacity?
Yeah. But yeah, there's
Okay, awesome.
there's no way it does. I
Okay,
mean,
good.
you would think it would. It would
Um,
make sense to think that
okay.
it would cause children to become more violent, but there have been so many studies. This has been argued to death, and right now it's just boomers thinking that, no Russian is going to make kids shoot up airports.
Right.
Oh, I like that Modern Warfare 2.
Oh, with the no Russian mission.
Russian.
You had the option to skip it if you wanted to.
And there's plenty of flight simulator games that include the World Trade Center. So I mean, anything
Okay.
can happen.
Microsoft, we're looking at
last
you.
question for the day. At Soy Boy Spoon, did this come from the from YouTube or from the Discord? From the Discord.
Discord.
Yeah, I thought I recognized that name.
Oh, it did come from Discord.
He asks, "What do you think of Donald Trump banning TikTok?"
Trump.
Now, I am someone who is a staunch libertarian. I hate when the government does anything,
Staunch.
but I do think this is probably a good call because what people don't understand is they think Trump bad. He's just taking our TikTok away for no reason. But the thing is, TikTok is owned by a parent company that is Chinese, and if anybody knows anything about China, is that if you are a Chinese corporation, you have to give all your information to the government. If you are a corporation in China, you are technically owned by the government. They don't have the freedom to have their own companies. It is all government owned. And so if they're able to get information information about you through TikTok, then that information is able to go straight to the Chinese government. So
My big deal on it is I support it 100% because I think at TikTok's peak there was a bunch of stuff going around like some older men trying to prey on little girls.
Of course.
You remember all that
got little
stuff going on?
10-year-old cuties on there. I'm not calling them cutie, but just
I remember
the
that,
Netflix.
and it's just
Yeah, I mean,
cringe.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, it's just
you got people praying.
Yeah,
and
obviously.
Yeah.
it's not cool. I mean, if you're gonna put an app out there that's gonna stimulate something like that and give them a way to access all kinds of
Well,
videos and whatnot.
Videos
Yeah.
of like half naked 10-year-olds
Yeah.
dancing.
I think TikTok could be
no.
great. It's just I'm not saying that I support the ban because TikTok's an awful platform. I don't care the contents on it. I honestly don't care. But the fact that it's owned by a Chinese company, that is worrisome. So if they sold it to Microsoft or Walmart's even thinking of buying it, I'd be fine with that. I wouldn't care.
Okay, I support the ban. First I was like, lol, TikTok bad, get it out of here. And just but when I learned there was Chinese spyware on it, I said this is my only pet peeve I have with it. If they're considering banning TikTok because it's owned by a Chinese company, then what happened back when Fortnite had Chinese spyware? Where was the
thing
call
about,
then?
That is Epic Games. I think that they're not completely owned by China. I think they have Chinese shareholders. I'm not educated on this, but I thought that they only had Chinese shareholders and that they weren't owned by a Chinese company itself. They may be, I'm not really sure, but that would be kind of worrisome because there are a lot of companies, American companies, that are affiliated with these other Chinese investors.
Yeah.
Like Ubisoft, for
And
example, like one of their China has like an 8% investment in Ubisoft. So.
And like that, just like I'm not saying shut down Fortnite, but like it just doesn't feel equal, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, it's harder to get information
Chinese spyware on
that way.
Yeah, Chinese spyware on Epic Launcher. I sleep, and then China owns TikTok. You real shit. Like if we're gonna be doing this, then we need to be doing it equally.
Like, I hate when the government bans
like.
anything. Like, I'm someone who thinks that we should be able to go buy heroin over the counter if you want to put that into your body. I don't care. It doesn't affect me. But this is like seriously like a national security concern.
Yeah, I think it is too, especially since there's kids on
like-
it. It's a
Yeah.
younger generation
Mhm.
platform, and like going back to like Fortnite, it's marketed towards
Yeah.
children. So what if it was owned by a Chinese company and they happen to say, like enter your credit card information for funny Fortnite skin, and they're like, oh hell yeah,
John Wick is stuck in
then they
Tilted
do it.
Towers, and he needs your credit card numbers and the 3
Yeah.
numbers on the back.
on the back, along with the
This-
expiration
this
month
like a-
and year.
There's like a trend going on here. Anything associated with kids is always something sketchy.
Dude, I swear,
Yeah.
like, at first I thought it was crazy, the Hollywood sex rings, but now I'm like, it makes sense with Epstein.
it's so
and
strange.
With, Netflix
Very
with
strange.
cuties, and every time you get on
Oh,
TikTok,
gosh.
there's a 10-year-old showing her butt cheeks. Like, it's messed up.
It's
and then
it's
we have
something.
And people
I blame
pay
Cardi
for
B,
that.
honestly.
People pay this. Probably, yeah.
you drop WAP, and what do you expect to happen? You have these little 10-year-old whores.
Yeah. You know what?
So basically, we don't support map rights.
yeah.
Right. And
don't-
and
I
Nabla.
don't support
If those are
anything
still, is
that-
Nabla still a thing? Let me see.
I don't even know what the hell
North
Nabla is. I've only heard of it.
American Man Boy Love Association.
Oh no, I remember what Nabla is. No, fuck Nabla.
It's still going.
So
Nabla.org.
So basically,
Nabla.org.
if you're a kitty piddler,
It's still a
oh
thing.
god,
Celebrating 42 years of Nambla since 1978. What is Man Boy Love? I want to find out what this is. There's a hyperlink.
that could be a
Oh
topic
my
for
God.
another podcast.
Podcast.
Who are we?
Hey,
Okay. I think,
that can keep that for your research
Okay.
time.
yeah, we've been on for like an hour and a half. So, like,
Yeah.
I think this is a
Um,
good stopping point.
But yeah, basically, if you're a kitty piddler,
Kill yourself.
take a long walk off a short pier, please. It'll do us good for the rest of humanity.
Again, when I'm
Make toast
president,
to Beth.
we're going to have a National Bludgeon Your Pedophile to Death Day. And it's going to be amazing.
No, pedophile purge.
That's what
Pedophile purge.
Hey.
They'll be hunted like wild, wild
remember
pheasants.
Garrett, I don't know if we need to talk about that on here. About that one guy we
What?
used to play ourselves with. You know.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
Oh, yeah. It's too close to home. We don't need to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just
That's about it for today. Make sure to join our Discord. You can ask us questions there. You can also ask questions down here in the comments of this video. Anything you guys want to plug?
no, not at the
We
moment.
did give you credit
Actually,
for the questions.
Yeah.
though.
We would.
Remember that.
yeah. Shout out to Jeppy and Soy Boy.
Yeah,
Soy
Soy
Boy
Spoon.
Spoon.
Yep.
Soy Boy Spoon for the questions. Keep them coming, guys. Drop them in the Discord if you want to. Put them in the comments section. I really like audience
Yeah.
feedback on this.
Let us know what you think. We're still
I
new
like
to this. We're still, trying to get everything together. So
Yeah, and feel free to say you guys are absolute dog shit because we take that
I'm
into
used to
consideration.
criticism.
Yeah.
Criticism at this point. You don't get 22K subscribers without shitloads of criticism. So
All right. Rub it in my face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rub,
God.
say
insert
that
your
as if
dick
you guys have
hard,
YouTube channels.
faggot. I have a Twitch channel. Fuck
Also, go
you.
follow
Hey, not
follow
yet.
Garrett's Twitch channel. Link down below in the description, as well as mine.
I'm gonna try to start streaming
Yeah, he's gonna
again.
stream some VR this weekend. I will soon start streaming VR.
Gonna
I
try.
just bought an Oculus after recording last week's podcast. I was like, you know what? I want to get a VR headset, so I just bought one. So update on that by the next podcast. But that about does it for this one. Thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Later.
Bye.